Aloha, everybody. This is Tiggy Maximus with Tiggy Maximus Talks, episode 113 on YouTube. Thank you guys for liking, following, subscribing my episodes on YouTube and Spotify. If you haven't already, there's a chance for you guys to make a small donation towards the podcast through Spotify. You can make a small donation clicking on the link, takes you to the window page, and you get a chance to donate however much you want because I need the money. Anywho, um, I just want to get on here pretty quickly and thank you guys. Um, I had a fun weekend. Got to go to Foodie Land um, days 2 and 3, and I also managed to go to a comedy show. The headliner was Chinedu Unaka, who you guys might remember. He is a great LA comedian, and he was on the TV show Abbott Elementary. Um, let's see. Let's start off with Foodie Land, days 2 and 3. Um, I went on Saturday, day 2. It was at Snapdragon Stadium. The reason why it's at Snapdragon Stadium is because the Del Mar Fairgrounds is having their horse racing season, um, where the surf meets the turf at Del Mar. And just so you guys know, horse racing, there's like free Thursdays at the Del Mar fairgrounds. So this past Friday was the beginning of the season, and everybody gets to show out, get to wear their fancy hats, great suits, looking all spiffy, sophisticated, having a lot of fun. Um, it's like one of those great reasons why you should wear a very nice jacket or coat and get those occasions to get to wear these, and show off your style. Um, so I got my ticket for Saturday. I went with my buddy D2 Nice. Um, we both went. He wanted to get some chicken and potatoes on a stick, and I ended up getting a dragon dog. The dragon dog from the world's best corn dogs vendor has this crispy marinade layer on the outside of this corn dog. And the corn dog is like any other corn dog, but the fact that you happen to have a crispy outer layer and you got a special sauce coming from the world's best corn dog place, and you get to drizzle all over it as much as you want or dip it. Um, it is the best corn dog I've ever had. That is saying a lot because the fact that the word dragon dog and how it looks like in the demo display, yeah, I was hooked. I'm glad I went. I told myself I would get like 3 items, and this is one of my 3 items on Saturday. Honestly, this dragon dog was honestly 9.5 out of 10. I would have this over and over. It's a very big corn dog too. Um, I and then let's see. The next thing I had, it was a beef bulgogi um, masubi from Fist of Fusion Island Grill. Um, they also have wings, but I wanted to try their masubi, and the beef bulgogi sounded pretty good. I've had spam masubi before. That's at LL Wine Barbecue, but this beef bulgogi one, I was very curious. It's great when you take 2 bites into your masubi, beef bulgogi masubi. But the problem with the masubi is that when you press towards one end and start eating from one end, it starts to push out the rice and the other ingredients towards the other end. So this is one of those cases where you kind of have to hold the back of your musubi and hold it with your either your middle finger, index finger, and your thumb, and kind of guide it towards your mouth. Takes a few bites, decent bites, and then work your way in. But it's going to end up being compromised, so you're going to have a whole bunch of rice in your hand, and you're going to have to end up either letting go of the rice and fall into your tray or your plate, or you're going to end up just eating it out of your hand, really. This is one of those cases that you kind of hope that your hand is clean. Because it falls apart after a couple bites, I would say it's an 8.5 out of 10. I'm glad I tasted it because the ingredients are really good. It's just that the way the musubi is structured, any musubi, if it doesn't hold its shape after a couple bites, then I would say not the best in the world, but very good tasting ingredients they had. So kudos to Fist of Fury or Fist of Fusion. Next thing I had, it was I believe it was a dessert for myself. This is coming from a place called Mochi Natics. Mochi Natics, which is a play on the word fanatics. So Mochi Natics has this chocolate sea caramel mochi waffle pop, basically on a stick, and you get the best of the waffle world plus the mochi, and you get a mixture of chocolate and caramel. That just sounds very appetizing, and it was very tasty actually. It wasn't too messy, and you had drizzles of Oreo cookies on there. And I would say this was 8 out of 8 for this mochi waffle pop. I recommend it because it doesn't get messy, and you can just clean it up pretty nicely. You don't leave any remaining like crumbs or anything, sort of. Well, I mean, the Oreos are kind of already crumbs in itself, so they just do a little. So you're gonna end up when they drizzle, you're gonna end up with a little drizzle, little crumbs, because it doesn't always capture everything on there. So yeah, that was a great experience. Got to do a few like walkthroughs, just to kind of see what they had. I'm glad I had 3, and the best of San Diego came out to show out. And basically, the fact that all these vendors from all over California coming together here in San Diego and be at the Snapdragon Stadium, which, by the way, all the food is out in the parking lot. So they make you park in the orange parking lot, and you just start heading towards like the left side of the Snapdragon Stadium. Just keep going all the way to the left, and then you'll see everything happening out there. So I'll do a picture of the whole place as part of the profile picture for this episode. Um, Overall, I had a good time. Kind of cool hanging out with you two nice. Checking out the landscape of people and food. So um, we had a good time. And then I went on day 3, and I had a great time because I got to go with my friend Trish. We've been friends since 1997, since high school in Mira Mesa. Um, she brought her son, and you know, she wanted to try out some lobster noodles from Lobster House. Noodles were pretty decent, I would say, and the lobster looked pretty good. Um, Her son wanted the Hawaiian J cone, the Hawaiian J cone vanilla ice cream. Um, that looked pretty tasty. I had it last year too. Um, then um, She also got, I believe, the lobster roll. Got it from this place called the Blue Main Lobster and Seafood. Um, her son, I got her son the rainbow dumplings from Drunken Dumplings. Um, they look pretty good. It's color coded. Um, so it's like the colors of the rainbow. So hopefully they like their food. Uh, we also stopped by Mitri's Delights. Actually was there last night too, Saturday night because D2 Nice also got some some sweet stuff. I think he got like some strawberry shortcake or something. I guess that's what we had too. Uh, but yeah, I had the strawberry shortcake. It was already kind of like in a cheesecake in a little cube, so that was pretty tasty. I would say that was 8.6 out of 10. Pretty tasty and a great crew. Apparently, Trish knows the girl who wears the strawberry dress. So that was the same girl who I ran into Saturday with D2 Nice. So um, I also had the shrimp po' boy. It was at this place called the We Cookin'. Um, the shrimp they used for the po' boy is pretty good. Bread was pretty decent. Um, I think there were some veggies and a tomato in there too. So overall, I would say it was an 8.75 out of 10. Pretty good shrimp po' boy. I've always wanted to get po' boys. Um, and then this is a great venue festival to do so. Um, I also ended up getting the ultimate roll from the Blue Main Lobster Seafood. Since Trish got the lobster roll, I got the ultimate roll, which had crab, shrimp, and lobster. And it comes with fries. Yay! Um, bread was pretty decent. The crab, shrimp, and lobster, that was pretty good. It was a lot. And so um, I managed to finish all of it because I always do. I would say that ultimate roll was 8.9 out of 10. I liked it a lot. And then, um, got to go around. They had some like hats, they have some figurines. We managed to get that bubble gun for Trisha's son. He had a good time with it. I think her son likes me. I'm his buddy. Um, so yeah, good times at days 2 and 3 at the Foodie Land. It's gonna come back to Del Mar in September 22nd, 23rd, 24th. So can't wait for that. Um, the Padres did win 2 games out of 3 against the Detroit Tigers. They won the first two Friday, Saturday, and they lost on Sunday. I don't know what it is. They just can't make a sweep, but they did sweep one series. It was against the Anaheim Angels of Los Angeles, or the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. But I mean, you can't win them all supposedly. But because of this, it is a 5-5 road trip for the San Diego Padres. So right now they're sitting at 48-52, and they're like 5 games out from the wild card. So they're chasing the Cincinnati Reds, the San Francisco Giants, the Arizona Diamondbacks, um, Philadelphia Phillies. So the Padres got to make up some ground. There's 62 games left, so they're going to start a homestand tonight against the Pittsburgh Pirates. So hopefully they will take care of them and move their way closer and closer to the playoff spot. Um, and I did go to a comedy show on Saturday night, late show, 10 p.m. at the Gold Room at the Mike Drop Comedy Club in Claremont Base Boulevard. I used my comp pass, and I I wanted to see Chinedu Unaka. I did see him at the roast battle up at the Comedy Store up in Hollywood. That's when we first met, and I wanted to see his full set because the set that he did out in Hollywood, I think that might have been a modified like 15 minutes or so. But since he was a headliner at the Mic Drop Gold Room, this was basically about 45 minutes to an hour. So I'm glad I got to see a full set from him. I had a good time. He had a good set. But let me start with the host. First time seeing the guy, Terrence Delane. And I'm glad I got to see him because the guy was super funny. Talked a lot about him being like half Latino, half Mexican, or half black, half Latino. And had told us how he grew up and made the voices of like a typical like Latino would sound like, especially when you try to date his sister or something. So that got a lot of laugh because he made the voice. And he talked about like family, um, his mom, uh, the walk, and how it was going to school. Um, but overall, I enjoyed his comedy set. He was super funny. I would say he was an 8.7 out of 10 as a host. Next, I believe it was Rod Kells. First time seeing the guy, I think he had talked about football jerseys and a girl, so that got some laughs. I would say for his set, he was an 8.3 out of 10. And then next up, it was your usual San Diego comedian. He's a regular around these parts. And then um, Jeff had some new material, and I think he had like two jokes. Uh, but honestly, pretty funny. He talked about going to Japan and trying to use chopsticks. And he talked about his dad. I guess he talked about his mom. So, um, yeah, I would say he was an 8.4 out of 10. I like the set. And then we got your headliner, Chinedu Unaka. He actually did recognize me when he walked in, did a little soft fist bump. And then, we talked after the show. I took a picture for him and a couple of his fans. Um, yeah, uh, he did have a cough, so he kind of like tried to manage it throughout his set. And I like the fact that he was drinking hot tea to kind of help soothe his throat so he can talk for an hour or so, 45 minutes to an hour. And he did stop a lot, but it kind of gives people a chance to take a breather between laughing at a lot of stuff that he said. Most of his set, everybody laughed, the entire room, and you can hear it from the back and the middle and the front. So he did crowd work, he did his jokes. He had maybe one old joke I remembered. It was basically how, um, talking about how do you want to go out, like how do you want to like, when you know you're about to die, but you kind of want to have a smooth transition to death, and like you kind of have a way that you want to go out. And you talked about how like a big-breasted nurse will come and suffocate you as part of a service to you know ease the suffering of death for old guy, especially I guess that's how Chinedu wanted to go out. Um, but yeah, a lot of laughing going on. I think he also talked about like um, being in LA, being with his girlfriend. Um, uh, let's see. I want to say he talked about um, like blowjobs, and it got everybody laughing because um, like uh, you feel like you're not always there. You're always like, you know, you got to be somewhere else, and you don't always do the great job when you're doing it. And they kind of compared it to like, you know, I don't know. I think he said like um, a cheating girlfriend or something. Like how, you know, she's not always like not all there. He's doing like a half-assed job on it, and then you know, so you did the comparison. Everybody laughed at that, and then he talked about like yeah, basically how he traveled and the stuff he's seen and experienced. But but he likes to slow down a lot. But he did, yeah, he did talk about being in LA, where he's been, his experiences basically, and then it led into the how do you want to go out bit. So that's a great closer actually. And but I like the fact that, good and bad, that he did take some time in between jokes because he needs to recover because he knows he's about to cough. But he got a lot of crowd work laughing though. So I would say Chinedu. I would say for his entire set and how he got people laughing throughout his almost his entire hour, I would say he was an 8.95 for his set. So I enjoyed it. I can't wait to see more of his stuff down the road, and Terrence as well, and Jeff and Rod Kells. So that's it for me, guys. I'm gonna be kind of seeing how I want to go to comedy shows this week. I know for sure I'm going to Abnormal Heights. Um, Abnormal Nights comedy down in Normal Heights. That's on Friday the 28th, and that should be fun to go to and see Alex Petit and whoever he has on the lineup. So should be a lot of fun. And now I got to do some stuff, get things coordinated for this week, and a lot of food, comedy, and sports coming up this week. So UFC 291 is Saturday, and Terrence Crawford versus Errol Spence Jr. for the welterweight undisputed welterweight championship is on Saturday as well. Um, Hopefully, to get to watch all that. There's a place at Novo Brazil down in Chula Vista, Otay Ranch, Otay Mesa. So it should be a fun week, and some decisions to make this week, and we'll see what happens from this point on. All right, this is Tiggy Maximus signing off. Remember to have some good food, good company, watch some good action, and watch some good shows. And this is Tiggy Maximus saying, talk to you later. Signing off, and booyaka!